Red Sox are looking to claim their 4th championship in the last 14 years. The city of Boston, they're looking for their 11th championship this century. I caught up with some Boston fans and asked them if winning ever gets old, as well as an MLB legend about his World Series prediction, and some of their answers may surprise you.
Red Sox, Dodgers, comes with your free bumper sticker, best team ever.
They are the best team ever.
$5 here.
Does winning ever get old?
No, I love winning.
2 damage, go Sox!
4 for 4 Boston guy, Patriots, Bruins.
4 for 4.
You guys ever
All the
think
way.
maybe you should let somebody else get a chance?
Never. Why? Let the keep. How many years do we have? 86 without something? We need them all now. Let's get them all. We'll take them all.
I hate to interrupt. Is the person you're speaking with, do they think the Red Sox are going to win?
Brandon, do you think the Red Sox are going to win? Maybe. What kind of shit is that? They're absolutely 100% going to win.
Good luck. Don't you think that the Red Sox have won enough? It's time that they maybe should give someone else a
It's
turn?
our turn. It's our turn. Especially after last year, it's definitely our turn.
How about you? You've never seen the Dodgers win a World Series. How cool would it be to see it this year?
It'll be cool.
Kids your age in Boston.
Yeah.
All you guys do is win championships. Does it get old?
No, not really.
Lasorda, I know that the Red Sox have won a couple times in the last 13 years. You think it's time that they give the Dodgers a turn?
Well, I think they're going to give us a good bye. No question about it. They have a good team. You only win if you got a good team. Well, we have a good team and they have a good team. So it's the one that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to be the one that's going to win it.
You heard it here first from the legend, Tommy Lasorda. Tommy, thank you very much. For those of you unfamiliar, that last person you heard from, the oldest living MLB Hall of Famer, Tommy Lasorda. And not only that, he's a legend in the Dodgers organization. He won them their last World Series as a manager. And good news for Sox fans, he didn't pick the Dodgers to win. I'm live in Boston outside Fenway Park. Andrew McDevitt for NBC2.
Me, be great on 3. 1, 2, 3. Be great. Quick. Don't push it. There's nothing like playing football.
Colin Saring has been playing football ever since he can remember.
Good job, kid. Quarterback's got to be the most athletic person on the field.
The Philadelphia kid turned Cape Coral high schooler always had one thing on his mind.
You know, I want to play college football, whatever level it's on, wherever it may be. You know, that's where I want to be at.
It wouldn't come easy for Saring, however. He spent the first few years at Cape Coral High School battling as a backup. But when it came time for his senior year, Colin's dedication earned him playing time.
You got to work for what you want in life. There's no handouts, and you know, I definitely had to work to earn that spot and to get that starting spot.
Starting his senior year for the Seahawks earned Colin a spot at Weber International University. Like at Cape, he had to start at the bottom and grinded for any time with the ones.
Getting to contribute some more and more to the game was getting more and more exciting into my sophomore year.
But during the summer entering his junior year, Colin was at a party when things went terribly wrong.
Made the worst decision of my life and decided to smoke that night, whatever was being smoked, and didn't realize what it was. And 48 hours later from that point, I was in the hospital.
He'd spend the next 2.5 months recovering in the hospital. Doctors never determined what caused Colin's reaction.
It's crazy to think about because my life was almost taken from me, and you know, I was in ICU for 9 days. I was in a catatonic coma. You know, when I came out of my coma, I was in a baby state, reborn mentally.
Despite having to relearn motor skills like how to walk and talk, 5 months after leaving the hospital, Colin was back at Weber, lacing up his cleats.
When I was in the hospital, I just wanted to go home and I just wanted to play football. When I got home, I just wanted to play football.
But things were different in his return to campus. The coaching staff had changed, and Colin was back at the bottom of the depth chart.
Pause.
He decided his time at Weber was over, but then came another hurdle.
I went through some personal things and ended up, you know, getting clinically depressed, moved in with my parents, got all the way up to 305 pounds.
Colin wasn't ready to let that be the end of his story. He approached life with a new motto.
You gotta take it one day at a time.
He lost 100 pounds in 8 months and once again found himself back on the football field playing for the local arena team.
At the end of the day, getting to play football, make a little bit of money doing it, you know, playing in front of my friends and family, having my son there, that's a blessing. You know, that's a cherry on top of everything else that's going on.
When Colin isn't working on his own game with the Gulf Coast Fire, he's passing on his passion and knowledge to the next generation of Lee County quarterbacks.
You know, help be a mentor for these kids in Lee County and in the surrounding area to be a positive role model and watch those kids go on to college, watch those kids go on to play NFL. That's what I really want to get out of all this.
Let's go.
I asked Colin what he thought the theme of his story was. There's so many of them. And he said it was perseverance. No matter what obstacles he's faced, he's continued to chase his dream. Colin and the Gulf Coast Fire will chase an A-League championship at Hertz Arena on June 16th.
I'm just trying to make the best opportunity I can. So come out here, and play ball.
Long before his focus was on football, Nairi Handy was focused on survival. He had to. He was born behind prison walls. His birth mother an inmate.
I was in survival mode for the longest, and it was just a very different experience. Very different.
The first 14 years of his life were spent bouncing around the Florida foster care system.
He struck me as a kid that just needed a chance. Someone needed to love him.
Amal Bernal Kibler was a mental health therapist in Punta Gorda, where she met Nairi. He was just 14 years old and struggling, but there was just something about him.
When I talked to my husband, I said, at least mentor him. Come and meet him and mentor him. He's just an amazing kid.
And just like that, 55-year-old Bill Kibler was about to become a dad for the first time. It wouldn't come easy, though.
To be honest, the first few days, there weren't many words exchanged.
I remember he picked me up from the home. First time picked me up. I didn't say a word to him the whole ride.
But the frost thawed, and Nairi became an official member of the family.
Never thought I'd be getting adopted. Never thought anyone would want me, to be honest. All my life I've been in care and moving place to place, house to house, foster home to foster home. It was just, I didn't think. Never thought I'd have a family like this.
Supported by parents who loved him no matter what, Nairi began to flourish. He enrolled as a sophomore at St. John Newman High School and began to excel on and off the football field.
I knew I could make something out of myself.
Nairi wants to know how to succeed and how to please. And when we give him the roadmap for that, he executes, just like he does on the football field.
Despite only playing organized football for 2 years, Nairi earned himself a scholarship. He's committed to play at the Florida Institute of Technology next year.
I cried when he signed his letter of intent because I know what he'd overcome.
Probably one of the greatest feelings of my life. Never thought I'd even be playing here at a high school. Now I'm on my way to be playing at a university.
Proof that with drive and a loving family, anything is possible.
I want him to know that he has a home and a family, and we're not going anywhere.
Never let anyone tell you can't do something, because I've been told that millions of times, and it's definitely not true. Keep working hard, just don't stop. Just keep going.
Reporting in Naples, I'm Andrew McDevitt for NBC2. Those 17 players told me they weren't sure if they even wanted to compete in this tournament after the horrors of Valentine's Day when their teammates and teachers and peers were gunned down. But tonight, they call themselves state champs, and they're dedicating this win to the victims. Hockey isn't easy. But then again,
terror in South Florida today at a South Florida high school.
There are at least 17 people dead, 12 in the school building.
Neither is life.
I was just glad to be alive, and I live for them now.
Less than 2 weeks removed from a mass shooting that killed 17 of their classmates and teachers, the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas hockey team entered the day as the bottom seed in their quest for a state title. They'd have to beat 2 teams they lost to yesterday to have any hopes of pulling off this Cinderella story.
Well, yesterday we didn't have very good games against this team, and we knew what we needed to do.
The Eagles quickly jumped on Eastlake in the semis, winning 3-1, and got right to work in the state title game, putting up a 4 spot on Jesuit in the first period, before coasting to a 7-4 state championship win.
No one was lacking energy in the locker room. We all came to play. We were all ready. This wasn't for us. This was for the 17 victims. We played for them. So passionate, so emotional. It's all for them.
Bad things always lead to good things, and it's just nice to have this, you know? We plan to bring all of our medals to the school. There's 17 of us on the ice, so we plan to put 1 medal on every single person that passed away.
We almost didn't even come here because we didn't know if we wanted to play or not. I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we came. I'm just happy to be alive, and I play for those who can't.
This is not the end for the Eagles hockey team. They'll go on to play in the national tournament in Minnesota on March 22nd. But first, these players are thrilled to get back to class and celebrate with their classmates. Live in the studio, Andrew McDevitt, ABC7.
If you're having fun, it's not work. So I love crabbing, and I used to sell crabs, cook crabs. So eventually I was like, you know what? I'm buying crabs and cooking them. Why not just catch my own?
Every morning, former Mississippi State running back and current wide receivers coach at Palmetto Ridge, Jimmy Perry, is out catching crabs on his boat.
Pretty decent.
He does it partly because it's his passion, but also to make a living.
trying to retail as much as I can, and then go to the fish market, sell that, and probably make the crates. They're pretty full. Probably I'll save about $400, $500.
While pulling the more than 50 crab traps can be hard work, Jimmy values his alone time on the water.
I just get to chill, be myself, and just enjoy the environment, really. I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful out here.
But that's only the beginning half of his day.
Hey, receivers on three, receivers on three. 1, 2, 3, receivers! It's really easy to transition. I love it. You know, catch crabs and then take out the practice. Okay, let's get high, let's get ready to hit, let's go.
He's a really good person. He wants to help out the community. He wants to help out the football team. He just wants to help out everybody all around.
Although football practice turns Jimmy's day into a long one, he's hoping to help teach players from his own high school to use their athletic skills to get themselves a free education.
After making it to the SEC, if I could do it, there's plenty of other kids that have the ability to do it. I just want to help them get into school. Just trying to get people to the next level.
Reporting in Collier County, I'm Andrew McDevitt for NBC2.